Hi friends, welcome you all for today's session 1 of Recruitment and Selection. Your subject code is 18 MBA HR 301. So recruitment selection is one of the paper which is a very fundamental paper for HR elective students. So here the first chapter deals with job analysis. The first chapter deals with job analysis. See, the job analysis is a very fundamental. It's a fundamental and we can call it as a building block also for HR management. If you want to study all the HR unit, all the process, all the functions, the job analysis is a very fundamental, or we can call it as a building block for the rest of the HR unit or the activities. So let's understand, friends, what do you mean by, before going to the job analysis, let's understand what do you mean by job. Okay, let's understand what do you mean by job here. See, job is something, it's a collection of tasks. Something what you are collecting a task of, or a role or a responsibility, okay, that can be performed. So once you're collecting the task, okay, I mean first, the very first step to understand the job is first you have to collect the job, task, okay, roles, responsibilities, duties, etc., etc. that can be performed, that has to be performed by someone, that is a single individual, single employee or single person, okay. Whatever the duties you are deriving or the roles you are deriving, responsibilities you are deriving, it has been performing by a single individual called a employee. And why? For what purpose? It is for the production aspect. Okay, why are we collecting a task there? Why are we collecting a role there or a responsibility there by an individual? It's to produce something. You want to produce something. So the production can be in the form of product or the services that is provided by the organization. So finally, when you speak the production can happen in the form of producing something, or you're giving a service provided by the organization. So it's a very simple, what we can understand the definition of job. To understand the definition of job is, a job is a collection of a task, okay, that can be performed by a single employee. It is performed by a single employee to contribute, okay. He is contributing to the production aspect of some product or the services provided by the organization. And each job has certain ability requirements. Remember here. So I am deriving a job, okay. Fundamentally, there is someone, okay, there are some experts sitting or job analyst person sitting there, and they are deriving each job, okay. So once they are deriving each job, and the job requires certain abilities, competency requirements are there, okay, as well as certain, and they're performing. Okay, here you're designing a job, here you're designing a task, role, responsibility that someone is to perform, okay, and that person, why? To produce something. Okay, after production, what next? So there comes, you have to reward him, okay, whatever the job is doing, either mentally or physically, okay. Different occupation possess different roles and responsibilities, at the same time different competencies. So finally, after a person doing a particular job, okay, you have to reward him something, and that is, the reward is associated with this particular job. That is what I told. Job analysis, it's a very fundamental for human management function, because it is again connected to your composition management, recruitment, selection, induction, placement, training, performance, etc., etc. Whatever HR units comes into picture, everything there is an interlink is there, job analysis. Okay, so whatever the job individual, an employee is performing, okay, based on his inability, okay, you have to reward him, okay, which is associated to the particular job what is performing, whether he is doing a mental job or a physical job. Finally, he has to be rewarded either in the form of a monetary or non-monetary. So each job, that is whatever you're deriving the task or the role or the responsibility, ultimately what you're giving to the employee, okay, to perform, okay, there finally you have to reward for each job what he's doing. Okay, I think you understood now what is the job here. We defined the job, and this job is making us to analyze next. Okay, keeping in mind, now we are analyzing the job analysis. Okay, so job analysis is the process. We can call it as a process. Again, it cannot happen in a single step. So there is lots of steps coming into the picture. Okay, because there you're deriving particular task or the role means there should be some job analysis has been done prior. Okay, so job analysis is the process which is used to identify these requirements. These requirements are this one, above three what I listed now, that is the task for a person as well as for the production something, producing something. For these requirement, job analysis has been done. Okay, for that particular task and for that particular individual we are deriving. For example, I can say the two products of job analysis is job description and specification. Description speaks about your task, roles, responsibilities and all, whereas specification is connected to the individual employee, what skill, what knowledge, so it's specified to perform that particular job. Okay, and finally why this description, specification, finally to further something to happen. Okay, something to produce in the form of a product or the service. So what we can say is job analysis is a process which is used to identify these requirements here, and also we can call it is a method also. It is a method of work. Job analysis is the process and the method of work. Why it is a method of work is there is some productivity coming into picture. There is some productivity coming into picture. Okay, I think now you understood the job. Okay, very simple. I have defined what do you mean by job. Okay, now let's understand what do you mean by job analysis. Okay, let's try to understand what do you mean by job analysis. I've already told connected to the job analysis can be called as a process. It is a process one way, it is a method one way, okay, to derive some work, So job analysis, it's a detailed, what we can say is, it is going in a very detailed, systematic study of jobs. So each jobs, whatever the roles, task, responsibilities, okay, you're deriving or you're developing or revising, okay, in your functional areas, that has to be in a very detailed way, that has to be studied in a very systematic manner. Okay, that is what we're telling, in a very detailed, very systematic, you're studying the job. Each job has been studied. Whatever you're developing one or revising the jobs, what you're doing, it has been detailed and systematically studied. Okay, why you're doing that? To know the nature and characteristics of that particular job. Okay, if I deriving one particular job, I should also derive the nature and the characteristics what this job has to give. So that is what role this, if I specify this role, what is the nature, what are the characteristics this job is giving to me. So that I have to specify to the people. People have to understand. If I allot some job to the people or employee, they should understand what is this role. I cannot say, yes, you are an executive manager. So what executive manager role is? So there I have to derive. I have to say the nature and the characteristics of an executive manager. If I say salesperson job, then I have to say what is the nature and the characteristics of a salesperson job. Okay, so I'm making an employee understand his job, okay, through by deriving what? In the form of the job characteristics and the nature. What a salesperson has to do, what an HR personnel has to do, what a finance manager has to do, what a production manager has to do. So same way I'm giving detailed instruction, the nature and the characteristics of a job to be performed by an employee. Okay, on various jobs, that's what I told, jobs are various. Different occupations are there, so different jobs are there. So we are deriving for each occupations and each jobs and each roles. There are nature and characteristics are there. So what we can understand is job analysis means it's a detailed systematic study, okay, of jobs to know the nature and the characteristics of the people to be employed on various jobs. That is one way of definition. So other way of definition is job analysis is the process. I've already told it is a process or a method to collect information. You are collecting the information on what? On different jobs. Okay, you are trying to, what job you are derived or what job has been revised, you are trying to collect those job. So that is the collecting information. About the duties, responsibilities, that's what I told now. It can be called as job or it can be called as duties or task, responsibilities, as well as what are the necessary skills have been required, necessary skills required to perform that particular job, and what is that, finally what is that output the job is giving, okay, work environment of a particular job. So all this comes into the picture of job analysis. So what I can say is job analysis is a process. So in this process, it is used to collect what? Different information about duties, responsibilities, necessary skills and the outcome and the work environment of a particular job. And we are also saying about the work environment also. If I just want to perform any particular job, naturally I have to speak about the work environment also. Whether this job is having a safety, whether this job is creating any health hazards, okay, all this come into picture. That's what I know. All our HR functions are interlinked in the job analysis. Okay, so that is what the studying the working condition, working environment is also a major thing in the job analysis. Next, one more definition is job analysis. What we can say is, I'm not saying about the definition here. Who does the job analysis then? The next question comes there. So I think we can answer here also. In the coming stage also you will understand who is doing this particular job analysis. Okay, and I'll just keep hold there. Okay, whenever a large organization introduce, suppose let's imagine we know like small scale industry, large scale industry, medium scale industry and all. So whenever these industries now they are introducing a new job or revising a new job, existing job and all, they call upon some experts. They call upon some expert knowledge. We call them as a job analyst. Okay, so those people taking their help, they are trying to derive what? The nature and the characteristics for the jobs. Okay, hope friends you understood now the two major definitions before we go to the next concepts. Okay, here we have tried to derive what do you mean by the job, and next what do you mean by job analysis. Okay, so now let's move to the next one. Who should conduct job analysis? Who should conduct job analysis? I've already told job analysis. Usually that's what, depending on the industry, okay, depending on the need, demand, okay, each organizations or the industry take help of some subject knowledge experts that we call as a job analyst. Okay, here the analyst can be like specialist in that particular job, okay, who are expertise in particular job. We are taking their help, okay, we can call them as a specialist, or we can also take them help of managers here. And the position classifiers, you have got other ways we can also call them as a position classifier. There are people who derive the designations, who derive the jobs. Okay, so we are taking the help of a specialist or a manager or a position classifier, okay, expertise. Those people are going to collect, okay, they are going to collect informations, okay, regarding to the task, roles, responsibilities, and finally they're going to examine each and every task what they are giving, what this particular job has to do. Okay, they are examining in a very detailed manner. In the detailed informations, they are digging the detailed information about a particular job duty. Okay, what these people are doing, those person roles is they are digging in a deeper way to collect the information, okay, regarding to a particular job duty, and then they prepare job descriptions. Then they are giving the job descriptions. Okay, I've already told job analysis is having a two byproduct what we can call. One is the job description, other one is a job specification. Okay, anyway, in the next classes, that is in the next modules and all, you will be coming in a deeper way of what do you mean by understanding the job descriptions and all. Very simple. Job description means where it specifies, it describes regarding to the job. Okay, it describes the job nature, characteristics, as well as it describes the location where this job has to be done, who has to be done, when has to be done, and again it specifies whether the job is hazard, safety, okay, with what material, techniques, all these things the job description gives you. Okay, so these descriptions also helps and explain the duties. Okay, it is going to explain the duties. I've already told. It is going to give you the title. Job description specify what is the title, task title is what, role title is what, where is the location, what is the timings, okay, what is the working condition, okay, everything, it gives everything. Okay, training, okay, to perform this particular job, what is the training has to be given or have to be had, and skills each job requires, what are the skills required. Okay, all these things here we try to understand. So who should conduct job analysis? the very simple question is usually done by your managers or the specialist and by the position classifiers. These people try to create the job. And now coming to the next, dimensions on which job analysis vary. Okay, what are the dimensions? Dimensions on which job analysis vary. See here, fundamentally you have got many questions coming into picture. When I am speaking about dimensions on which job analysis vary, there are many questions arising like who, what type of information, methods, forms, purpose, job. We are speaking about the job. So who has to perform the job? What type of information is needed for the particular job? Methods, forms, purpose. See, like this, you've got plenty number of questions. So to understand this, what we do is, we are trying to explain these dimensions taking the help of job analysis matrix. Okay, we are understanding these dimensions with the help of a job analysis matrix. So let's see in the next year, that is job analysis matrix is what it says. See here, job analysis matrix, it comprises of 4 blocks. Okay, it comprises 4 blocks where it says one block says what the worker does, what an employee should do, or what an individual should do. That means it is explaining an individual employee duties, what he has to do, what task he has to do, what is his responsibility. As I've already told, if I say what the worker does, for example, sales manager does, or an executive does, or a supervisor does, a foreman does. So there I have to specify foreman, this is your duty, this is your task, this is your responsibilities. Everything has to be specified. That is what it says. If I say sales manager, so what is your duty, what is your task, what is your responsibility. So this way everything has to be detailedly spoken here. And next, how the worker does it. Next is how the worker does it, employee does it. If I am giving one side, I am giving the job, I am giving a duty, I am giving a task, I am giving a responsibility. On the other side, I have to explain him, I have to tell him, I have to tell my employee how the worker does it, how the employee or an individual should do it. There comes the methods. To perform those tasks, roles, responsibility, you should need certain methods, techniques, tools. So there we come across your various job analysis methods, job analysis tools, and job analysis techniques. So that is your second block of the matrix. And the next comes why the worker does it. One side you are deriving the work, duty, responsibility. Another side you are helping the employee with various methods, tool, technique. Why these two? To produce something, to happen the production here. I have already told production happens in the 2 aspects, either to produce something, okay, in the form of a product, or you want to give a service. So to do this, okay, to produce something or to render some services, what we are doing is, we are defining the duty there, we are defining the roles there, we are defining the responsibility there, and we are also specifying to perform those, what are the methods, tools, and techniques. And next comes the 4th block of this matrix, workers' qualification. Ultimately, yeah, those 3 were describing job description, whereas here job specification, what it is specifying to an individual is his qualifications, knowledge, skill, ability. Okay, here we are specifying to perform this particular job, an employee should have this particular knowledge. So what is the knowledge required? What is the experience required? What is the skill required? Okay, what is the competent required? So all this speaks about an individual thing here. Okay, so these are the 4 major blocks of job analysis matrix. The very first one you have to understand what the worker does. Next one is how the worker does it. Okay, then why the worker does it, and next one, worker qualification. Got it? Okay, so the next one is horizontal, vertical. So let's try to understand this matrix in the form of horizontal and vertical. Okay, see here when I speak about vertical, when I speaking about the vertical aspect, see one is what and all comes into picture is, first I have to understand the person, I have to understand the employee to perform this particular job, what employee should have, or what an individual should have. That's what I told. He should have your KSA, knowledge, skill, ability. Okay, I am just checking to perform this particular job whether the employee is having required skill is there, required knowledge is there, or the ability is there, effort is there, commitment is there, attitude is there. So there are tangible, intangible things are there. Okay, from a person. What we are expecting from a person to perform a job is both tangible and intangible thing. Okay, and next comes the activities. So this particular person, what kind of activities he is doing, whether he is doing a physical activity or a mental activity or interactional sequencing, like this, so many picture come into picture. So whatever the job I am assigning to a person, whether the job has been performed with a mental, okay, or with a physical effort, or with an interactional effort, or with a sequencing effort. So this I check it in a vertical aspect. Okay, and next comes, so whatever is doing the job, so he is having required ability, he is having required knowledge, is having, and I'm saying my activity, whatever the task is doing. Okay, finally I said, now I have to reward for a particular job. Finally, whatever he is producing, so I have to reward him. So this reward can be either intrinsic or extrinsic. Once I give these two kind of thing, I am rewarding either intrinsically or extrinsically, there comes the satisfaction. Whatever we derive the job now, finally an individual should be satisfied for whatever he is working, because ultimately he has been rewarded for what he does. So what is giving us, what is performing us, either monetarily or non-monetarily. So I am going to look into the satisfaction of an employee. Okay, so this way we try to understand the vertical aspect of a job. Okay, job analysis. And next comes the horizontal. So when I'm speaking about the horizontal, there again your organization comes into picture. Here I've got the people, that is the person way I spoke, and now I'm speaking about the organization aspect. See, organization, when I say to do that particular job, we said now we have a job here. Some organizations create jobs. They are the person who are creating the roles, responsibilities and all. So now, once they create those jobs and responsibilities, we have to ensure whether the organization is having resources. Ultimately, I am analyzing something, I am creating some vacancy. Organizations are creating what? Vacancies they are creating the vacancies. Then I have to see whether organizations are providing necessary resources. We already know in the management we have got 8 resources: men, material, machines, okay, etc, etc. So those are the resources we mean here. Even the supervisor come into picture. Okay, policies or the constraints, methods, everything comes into the picture when I'm speaking about the organization. Everything. See, whenever you want to perform a task or the role, again, organization policies should be very flexible, and even we do work with a certain limitation, constraints. Okay, all those things we have to consider into the picture. And again, the activities, that's what I told you, what this organization deriving, what kind of activities, whether they are giving the physical work or the mental work or the interactional work or the sequential work, that you have to see there. And next comes the output. Finally, output I am saying. What is the output? The production aspect. What is that ultimately the organization is producing, whether in the form of a product or a service. There I am looking into what? When I speak about the product and the service, I am speaking about the quality. I am speaking about the quality, quantity, time, data, people, my objectives. All these things I am keeping in the picture. Okay, not only I am seeing only the product and the service at the end measurement. Ultimately, the end output is product and services. Not only that, I am also looking into what? The quantity, the quality, the time, okay, and the data, and what effectively, efficiently my resources, especially the job, the valuable assets of a company have been utilized correctly or what, and my objectives of company are met. So this is what this job analysis matrix speaks, that is horizontal, vertical. So vertical, when you take, it speaks about the person. When you speak about the horizontal, it's speaking about the organization. Got it? Okay. Now coming to job analysis, I've already told the job analysis. Whenever I say usually we say job analysis is having 2 byproducts. One is the job description, job specification. Other than that, we can also say there is one more, job worth. Ultimately, we have to value the job, whatever we are creating, worth. Okay, so job description, I've already told, it is going job description. It is describing the job. It is describing each role, responsibility of a particular job or a task here. Whereas specification, job specification, it specifies for that particular job position, what is the knowledge, skill, ability required. Okay, that is the specification. Keeping these two, description and specification, I am seeing, I am checking, I am verifying and examining whether that particular job is creating a worth. Whether the job particular is creating a worth for what? For whom? For organization and employee. In what aspect? Whether that particular job is giving any experience to my employee, or whether that particular job is giving any profit to my company. Okay, so like this we are putting many questions when it comes to job worth. So whatever the job you are deriving, whatever the job analysis you are doing in a very systematic manner, finally that has to give you some job worth. Got it? Okay. Next one, let's see about some job analysis informations. What and all informations can a job analysis give? So we're taking whatever we discussed now in all the blocks, we're just taking and summarizing. Okay, so what we do is job analysis informations here. One is I'm seeing job identification. I'm identifying the job here. That is titles. Job analysis information. What and all job analysis has to give. So here the very first one is job identification. I have to identify the job. Different nature of jobs, different occupations, different positions, different titles. That I have to do it. Supervisor job, okay, foreman job, executive job, managing job, personal job, financial manager job, okay, production manager job, operations job, dispatch, etc. Marketing, human resource. Like this, I am just deriving, identifying different occupations or different positions or different titles. I am just doing it. That's the very first step. Okay, whatever the information required for job analysis. The next one is what the typical worker does there. Next question, what it comes is what the typical worker does there. What? An employee will do it. So I have to say to perform that particular job, I have to say like location. Okay, I have to specify the location. I have to specify the time here. I have to specify the safety aspect. I have to specify the hazardous aspect. I have to specify the working condition aspect. All those things I have to give the information there. And next, job duties. I have to specify some of the job duties there. Okay, whether it is a day-to-day operation job, okay, so that way I am deriving the job duties there. Whether it is an operational duty, whether it is what kind of duties I am assigning, I am just cross-checking and I am telling them. And next again, what job analysis information has to give is about the materials. This particular job uses what kind of materials and equipments, whether it is using metallic, whether it is using plastic, or whether it is using systems, whether it is using admin, or whether it is using monitoring. So like this it comes in the picture. You have to specify there about the materials and the equipments for a worker to use it. That also been to be explained here. And how a job is performed. The next point is how this particular job will be performed. How is doing. Okay, there I am specifying the methods, tools and the techniques. So how it does it. And required personal attributes. Along with it, also we expect certain personal attributes here. Personal attributes is like this attitude, that's what I told now. Some intangible things are also required for job analysis information. We are going to look into so attitude, behavior, okay, interest, values, beliefs, norms, okay. All these things are also required for a job analysis thing. So never expect that we are only looking the job specification of an employee's knowledge, skill, ability. Other than that, we are also looking is interest, values, norms, beliefs, okay. All these aspects, OB aspects are also we're looking from an employee. And job relationship, yeah, job relationship, interpersonal, okay. Job exchange, interpersonal also been looked here. Okay, so that is the informations what we try to give it here. That's what I told you. Job relationship is each job analysis. It is all linked with our HRM management functions. Okay, whether you take recruitment, it is connected. Your job analysis is connected. Whether you take selection, job analysis is connected. Training, it is connected. Performance, it is connected. Your industrial relation, it is connected. Performance appraisal, it is connected. So all your HR unit activities, job analysis is connected. And next coming, features of job analysis. Now let's go to the features of job analysis. See, features of job analysis is a detailed examination of job. The one is, it has to give us the very first job analysis is, we can take it from the definition only. See, remember always, it's a very wonderful. If you know the features, you can define the definitions. Or if you know the definitions, you can derive the features. Okay, so we have already defined the job analysis definition here. So the job analysis definition has been explained here. So job analysis, that is the features what I am taking is, it's one of the very first feature is, it is a detailed examination. Job analysis gives a detailed examination of a particular job. That means it is going to tell us about the detailed information, systematic informations. Okay, it is going to give us the detailed nature, characteristics of all the jobs, whatever the jobs you are creating, different occupations you are creating. Now, everything it has been detailedly, systematically, it is giving about a particular job. That is the one thing about the job analysis feature. Next, job analysis is a very important personal activity. It's a very important personal activity. See here, when I say personal activity, it's not an individual personal activity. I'm speaking about, it's an important HR personal activity. Yes, that is the second feature. Yes, I've already told, all your HR unit activities and the functions are linked with job analysis. That's we're going to, that explanation we're going to see in the uses of job analysis here. Okay, so that is the second feature. Job analysis is an important personal activity where you're going to see that connectivity in like recruitment, selection, induction, training, performance, etc., etc. Next, job analysis is to collect the data. That is what we told. It's a collection of data. Data of what? Task, roles, responsibility, and then those tasks, roles, responsibilities are analyzed relating to the job. That is the other feature. Okay, when I say job analysis, what it is doing, it is collecting the data of all the roles, responsibilities, and after analyzing, and it's relating to the job here. And next one, job analysis is having a two products, what we can say, that is a job description, job specification. Description, it describes the job. Specification, it specifies the job. To perform this particular job, what is that specification required? I have told, even the job worth also come into picture. Finally, you have to see the value of that particular job. Okay, and next, the last feature of job analysis is, job analysis simplify the process. Whenever you are doing so much of task here, because it clearly states, it's clearly helping all our HR units here. So that's what it is. It simplifies the process, methods, work. Finally, it is going to help the process, methods, and the work. Also, job analysis helps you to redesign the jobs. You can review the old jobs and you can redefine the jobs. Also, you can also create the new jobs. Such a wonderful job analysis is, that's what we say, it's a very fundamental, it's a building block for our HR functions. We can also redesign the jobs, existing jobs, or we can also derive the jobs. See, now what is happening? Green is a new buzzword. Wherever you go, you see people speak about the green product, green services. Okay, fine. But that made an organization to think about green jobs. Because this is a job where these person, what they're doing is, they are coming with new green ideas. They're giving a new ideas for a company regarding to the green management. So that we call it as a green jobs, we call it as. So like this, we are creating new jobs to the market. And now coming to the uses of job analysis. Now coming to the uses of job analysis. Uses, yes, don't ask me a question, because job analysis is applied to all our HR functions, all our HR process, units, activities, starting from our procurement till to the maintenance. So, but let's take very few functions and I'll try to explain the uses of job analysis here. So, job analysis here, what I do is, first is, it helps the organization design. It helps us for organizational design. Yes, because organizations are the person where they try to create the vacancies, okay, jobs they try to identify. So once they are creating a wonderful jobs, and according to the trend, according to the market demand or whatever it is, if they start creating, so how it is? Through the job analysis. Okay, next one, manpower planning. Yeah, job analysis makes you to understand the job planning, manpower planning here. So to perform this particular task or the role or respond, whatever it is, how many manpower is required? If that is not done, naturally we use more resources, more manpower. If you are using more manpower for a particular job, then naturally there is a cost coming into the picture. So to minimize the cost there, if you are having a wonderful job analysis, this particular job requires only this particular manpower. How are we getting this picture? Because of this job analysis is clearly giving, yes, this particular job requires only 2 manpower is required. Rest of the thing, machine does it. So that we are optimizing our what? Resources. Next one, uses of job analysis, it also can be used in recruitment and selection. Yes, vacancies are being created. To fill those vacancies, there we are giving advertisement. When you are giving the advertisement, how are we specifying that? We are clearly saying about the job description, job specification. How are we coming to know this description and specification? Only through this particular job analysis here. Okay, so that is why it is helping with the recruitment. And again, selection, yes, you cannot do a wrong selection. Okay, because when I'm recruiting something, because the job whatever I have identified there, analysis what I have done regarding to the job, it is telling me to recruit this way and to select this way, because I need to perform this particular task, this specified, okay, to the purpose of this job, I require this purpose of people here. So there the selection comes into the picture. So there ultimately wrong selection cannot happen, because job analysis is derived very systematic in a very detailed way. So even my selection process will be done in a very good manner, because I know to perform this particular job, I have to select this person only. To perform this nature or the characteristic of a job, I need this knowledgeable person. So the selection becomes very easy for me, because the job is demanding something, so the selection process becomes easy. Next, placement and orientation. Yeah, placement and orientation. How can I give the orientation? Simply, I cannot give the orientation to my employees who are coming to the organization. Whatever the orientation I am giving, it is only to that particular job. Okay? Or regarding, one way I am giving about my organization culture, other way I have to give about the organization climate. So when the job analysis is clearly derived, so to my newly joined employees or the freshers, to perform that particular job, I am giving a orientation. Okay, this job demand this, so you have to be like this, does and don't. Everything I am giving a detailed instruction in the orientation. And again, the placement also. Placement, yeah, here there is a job created and this particular job demands, I have to place him. So to place him, what I am doing, there is specifying this particular role or the task, we require this kind of people. So I am recruiting, selecting and placing that. And next one, training and development. Yes, if I am deriving some particular job here, my newly organization, I have started some enterprises, I have created few jobs here. Okay, I have already told in the previous green jobs. So nobody is having an idea about the green jobs, because about the new green product and the services. So I have to give training to the employees regarding to the green jobs. So job analysis help the companies to form the training also and develop also. That is the one thing. If my performance, okay, there is a particular job is there, my employee's performance is not up to mark. So what I do, how I am coming to know that the performance of employees are not up to mark? Because I am seeing the output there, outcome there. Okay, that particular job demands something, but that outcome is not coming. So there I start giving a training and developing my employees. Again, there is a job analysis helps. So this is the uses here. And job evaluation, of course, there are so many jobs are there. We try to evaluate each job. Okay, job evaluation, that is I told HR units. So we are evaluating each HR functions or the jobs there. Performance appraisal, again it is applied in the performance appraisal. Job designing, okay, safety and health, discipline, Employee counseling. Employee counseling is like, for example, employee counseling is again, I'm speaking about the career. Career speaks again job. So I'm telling, yeah, this job requires this updation, so please try to update. So I'm counseling my employees. Or I can also speak about other aspect regarding to the career building. And again, there comes into the picture of job there. And labor relations, yeah, whenever you define the job analysis correctly, you have a better, good interpersonal relationship between employees and employer, or vice versa it can be. Even there is also connection with the labor relations. See, when you have this disputes and conflicts, whenever the roles, responsibilities are not defined correctly, people come into disputes and conflicts. Here, everything is being clear. Okay, the roles are clear, the responsibilities are clear. So where comes the disputes and conflicts? Because job analysis is helping us to design in such a way. So possible uses of job analysis, I'll try to explain. Hope you understood job analysis here. So here we try to understand job analysis informations, what and all required, features of job analysis and uses of job analysis. So friends, so in today's class of recruitment and selection, session 1, we have tried to understand what do you mean by job, what do you mean by job analysis, and who should conduct job analysis, who is doing the job analysis here, what are the dimensions on which job analysis vary. So that we have tried to explain with job analysis matrix, vertically, horizontally, and then we took what do you mean by job analysis informations here, what are the informations required for the job analysis, and then the features of job analysis and uses of job analysis. So see you soon in the next session. Thank you very much.